Now, all this week, we'll be meeting the people behind pictures which showcase life in Faversham Creek. Their new and old photos, word pictures and paintings will form part of the public exhibition taking place this Saturday and Sunday at the Porphyria building in Faversham. The project is being overseen by Kent Creative Arts, and people have been contributing material since July. Joining us now are two contributors, Josephine Harvatt and Debbie Lawther, who is also the director of Faversham Trust, which aims to restore the creek as a working waterway. Well, Debbie, good morning to you, first of all.
Good morning.
So explain for those who don't know, what is Faversham Creek?
Faversham Creek is an ancient waterway. It was originally fed by many streams coming down off the North Downs, and it's been used as a navigable working waterway for hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, the Romans were there.
And then everything ceased and stopped. At what point?
Well, it slowly started stopping about 100 years ago.
Okay.
Pollock Shipyard closed, I think, in the mid-1950s. And the last people to use the creek for bringing materials into their factory in town were the Frank and Woodham joinery shop. They finished around about the mid-1980s.
So what kind of, what are the implications of trying to restore the creek to a working waterway then? I mean, you're director of the Creek Trust, aren't you? How does that, how far away from that goal or dream are you?
It's kind of a complicated issue.
I'm sure it is.
As industries along the creek closed in the last 20 years or so, the property was bought up and a lot of houses were built. The creek, one of the things the Creek Trust is doing is lobbying to make sure that that the remaining sites are available for boating activity. We're particularly interested in the basin and have been cooperating with various council bodies to try and restore the bridge that defines the basin from the rest of the creek. It used to be, it still is, it's a swing bridge that would open to allow boats into the basin, but the swing mechanism has been broken for a long time.
Okay.
So we're lobbying hard to get that opening again, and then we can get boats into the basin.
Fabulous. Well, this weekend, of course, I mean, this exhibition, it is rather poignant, and there's a lot going on, and particularly you've been inviting people to take pictures and the like to exhibit. Is that really the broad brush of what we're talking about here?
Well, yes. To promote the creek, Natalie Benangs and Kent Creative and the Brent Community Association have been sponsoring this terrific project, and we're going to have their pictures on display in the Purifier building. So
what have you taken a picture of?
I took a picture of a man in a canoe.
Okay.
He's right at the farthest up you can get in the basin, in an arm of water that is on one side of Ordnance Wharf, and on the other side is the Purifier building. And it's just so much. It was just so much of what we want to see happening on the creek, to have people on it on boats. So
fabulous. So it
and I took his picture.
So that one picture speaks 1,000 words, as they say, I suppose. Let's speak with Josephine as well, Josephine Harvatt, who has also got involved in this. Hi, Josephine.
Hello there.
Good morning to you. So, what is your, firstly, what was your relationship prior to this with Faversham Creek?
Well, I always find it a very rich source of inspiration as an artist, as a working artist.
Yeah.
It is such a varied environment. You've got big boats, you've got little boats, you've got wildlife, you've got architecture, which, as has been pointed out, very historic. There's a warehouse, there's, I believe, a barn, the oldest barn in the country.
Wow.
It's just fabulous.
Is there a sense of something special there when you go there? Do you tangibly feel that?
Definitely. It's a real place of real vivid character. I've never quite been anywhere like it, to be honest. But, there are places as diverse as this all over Britain, and they're just such little places of value for everybody,
Yeah.
not just artists.
See, but artists are you're like cocker spaniels, aren't you? You can sniff out a good place at 1,000 paces. You just instinctively, I suppose, know where, what feels like a place where something perhaps could be created. Is that reasonable?
I think as artists, you're taught to, or you should be, taught, or you learn to see.
Yeah.
People quite often, they don't look above eye level, and just don't look around them.
Yeah, people who don't look above when you're walking down the road, as long as there's not a lamppost in front of you, it's always advisable to look up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell us about the what you've painted for the exhibition.
Well, it was actually something that had been thinking of doing for some time, because, as I say, normally I paint, I'm very inspired by the British landscape in general, and normally I paint quite romanticised, imaginary landscapes that, draw on the landscape in general. But I wanted to do something particular for Faversham Creek, because it was so full of character. I made the painting, I think the best way of explaining it is a big colourful patchwork, because I wanted to reflect the way that there were so many different shapes and colours and sizes of boats, all fitting in together in this sort of glorious mishmash that nevertheless I could slot together into a coherent whole.
Debbie, have you seen Josephine's painting?
No, I haven't. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
So I'm assuming, Josephine, you haven't seen Debbie's photo either?
I did see it today online. I liked it very much.
Well, the good news is both can be seen on our Facebook page. More to follow as we go through the week, of course. Listen, Josephine, enjoy the exhibition. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And Debbie, have a fabulous weekend coming up, and thank you for coming on with us on BBC Radio Kent.
You're very welcome.
We appreciate your time. That's Debbie Lawther, Josephine Harvatt, both heavily involved and exhibiting as well at the Faversham Creek public exhibition Purifier Building in Faversham this Saturday and Sunday. If you go to BBC Radio Kent official on our Facebook page, you will be able to see those the painting and the photo, and we'll follow that throughout the course of the week. It's a really interesting sort of untapped area of Kent life, Faversham Creek. Still ahead on BBC Radio Kent, we'll talk